What is good? What is up? It's Jordan or Texans Thoughts, and I'm beyond excited to bring y'all this Jacob Martin interview. I can't begin to explain how grateful I am for this opportunity. It's really a dream come true. I never thought I would get to this point interviewing Texans players, and I really had no expectations whatsoever when I started Texans Thoughts. However, this is a huge moment for me and I hope y'all enjoy it as much as I did. So if you enjoy the video, make sure to hit the like button, subscribe for more content, and comment down below your thoughts on the video. Also, make sure to check out the Texans Unfiltered website, which has a bunch of awesome articles and our podcast as well. All those will be linked in the description. Alright, let's get into the interview. Awesome, man. Thank you so much for coming on, man. Really appreciate it.
No worries, man. Anytime. I appreciate you, man.
Yeah, it's a big honor, man, to be able to talk to you. All right, so just to go over what we're going to talk about today, just got a couple questions for you. I sent them to you, but and then are you comfortable with talking about? I feel like it's a good time to talk about everything going on in the world, Black Lives Matter. Yeah, right. Okay, cool.
For sure.
Go over that stuff. Yeah, it's perfect. Give you a good platform too. So yeah, and then if you got time, we can go over maybe some of your sacks from last year. That's cool.
Yeah, that's cool.
Yeah, that's cool. Awesome, perfect, man. How you doing, by the way?
I'm doing well, man. How are you?
I'm doing pretty good. All right.
Love to say what's up to the people.
Hey. How old's your dog?
He is a year and some change.
Damn. Awesome. It's not fully grown yet then, is he? Or?
Yeah, I would say he's about done grown.
He's about done? Okay.
Yeah.
That's awesome.
Yeah, dude.
Okay. So first question I got for you. I always start off with this question. From your point of view, what are the strengths and weaknesses to your game?
Well, I think the obvious strength of my game is my pass rush ability, and just the overall energy I play with. Things that I could work on. I would say being more physical. Getting off blocks. I think that's something that I need to focus on in terms of getting off blocks faster to make a tackle for loss instead of a tackle for no gain. You know what I mean?
For sure.
Just those like those little aspects of the game that little details I need to focus on.
Yeah. So specifically in the run game, is that like particularly, or both, pass rush wise as well?
I think there's always room to be improved, even within your strengths. So I think I'm a good all around football player. There's some things I do better than others, and obviously just trying to pinpoint those little details in the game that you're trying to really tweak and fine tune. Over the course of the off seasons and things like that.
For sure. Yeah. So some people say that, maybe you're a pass rush specialist, like you said, like that's a strength to your game. And they think that, oh, maybe he's not starting because he's not the best in run defense. And that's not like my words, but that's just like what people say, right? So is that something that like you're working on in terms of like your body? Because I'm pretty sure when the off season started, one of your like first statements was that like what you're looking to improve on is like your body and trying to get better in that aspect. So are you looking to improve that as well and try and help in the run game to be more of a complete player, like you said?
I don't really know where the idea came from that I don't play the run or I didn't play the run came from. My college tape speaks very highly of me playing the run and being physical, setting edges as a true defensive end with my hand in the dirt. I was a little bit heavier than I was. I was a little bit heavier in college than I am now. So me trying to be able to play all four downs and be able to sustain that in the NFL, obviously I need to gain some weight, but not too much to where I'm taking away from my natural abilities, my quickness, my get off and things like that. So, and that's something that me and the coaching staff, the strength staff, nutrition staff have really been focusing on this off season. Even with the coronavirus and stuff like that going on, trying to make sure we all have the correct nutrition, the proper nutrition as we're training at home and things like that. So,
Yeah, for sure. Because that's awesome. I really think you deserve a greater opportunity. I believe you only played about 21% of the snaps last year. And like you said, I think you can really be that guy who's a 4-down defensive end, outside linebacker, whatever they're going to call you. And I've seen it on the tape, like the little times that they did play you on like first and second downs against the run, like the Patriots game. That was a big one where you played majority of your snaps. And you were setting the edge. Like you can do it. Like I've seen it on tape. So like you said, like you're able to do it. It's just about getting the opportunity. So that's great. So like you said, have they said anything? Like I know they said to kind of push you to put on more weight, more muscle. Have they said like if, hey, you come back, maybe put on 10, 15 pounds, you still keep your athletic gifts, like you're going to be looking to like start at the defensive end?
You know, we got a new DC, new position coach in the outside linebacker room, man. It's really been, the conversation was like, all right, well, where do you feel comfortable at most playing? You know, like a weight where it's not like I don't have to. I'm not trying to gain 20 pounds to get to 260. You know what I mean? But more like in the 5 to 8 pound range. You know, or and be able to maintain that like consistently, like throughout the training. You know, because I'm really lean. I don't have any fat on me. So like I start to work out, I just cut weight like crazy. So, you know, just trying to make sure that weight is comfortable and around the 247, you know, 248 range, you know, around that range. So trying to stay there and be as comfortable there as possible, and being consistently there. So that's what I've really been focusing on. Make sure I'm eating the right things and the correct amounts of things like that.
For sure. Yeah. Maintaining that's a big part because you've heard a lot of people, I'm sure, like they put on 15, 20 pounds and it's not sustainable. They get injured. It's more of a burden than it is to actually help the game. So it's a great point. So kind of going on that point, what are your thoughts on new defensive coordinator, Anthony Weaver? I know you've had him only for 1 year so far, but the fact that he's younger than Rack and he's a former player, does that kind of help him be more relatable to you guys?
Man, Weaver's a great coach, man. He's just a great guy. He's a guy that you want to play for. You know, when you have a defensive line guy, he's a guy that played defensive line in the NFL and coached it in the NFL. You know, he has a different understanding and a different respect, you know, and appreciation for the talents in the front seven. And I'm not saying he doesn't appreciate and enjoy the talents that we bring in the back end, you know, but I think it's exciting for the guys up front. You know, maybe we get to do a little bit more moving around a little bit. And things like that, more games and opportunities to be on the field and play with bigger guys on the field. So I think it's awesome to have Weave calling the plays. And I'm excited for the team, and I'm excited to see what this defense is going to be about. I know it's going to be a big year from us. So.
Yeah, me too. So you talked about kind of lining up in different parts. I personally think you're the best on the edge. That's where you can use your athletic gifts really well. But they also did play you on the inside a little bit here and there last year. Can you talk about kind of your versatility on the defensive line?
And I think the biggest lesson that I've learned since I've been in the NFL is the more you can do, the more you do, you know. So whatever they ask me to do, if that's me running to be the middle of the field player from the line of scrimmage, you know, and that's me running to essentially be the safety, you know, that I'll go do it. You know what I mean? But like it's whatever they come up with or whatever the call is, you know, they try to put us in the best position possible to be successful, you know. So I just try to do anything I can. You know, we play around with different stuff, and during practice and things like that to see how things look. And sometimes things don't look great, you know, and you tweak off those things, and being able to learn from the guys that have been here longer than me and be able to learn from Rack last year in Pags, and it was awesome. It was just dope to be able to be that little piece to be able to be moved around the defense, which is dope.
Yeah, for sure. I think you're definitely a key part of the defense. So that kind of ties into my next point. I feel like people forget, but you're still a really young player going into your third season now. Since you are one of those younger guys, when you got traded here to the Texans, was there a veteran who was kind of taking you under their wing and kind of showed you the way, or was that more of like a group effort for like the linebacker room?
Man, I would say a lot of guys didn't know I was a second year guy when I came in. You know, a lot of guys thought I was older than that, but No, man. I would just say that I tend to gravitate towards the leaders in the locker room. Try to pick their minds. I mean, you have the opportunity to play besides JJ and Whitney Merciless and D4 and Hop, and being able to talk to those guys, and J. Joe, like dudes that has had some skin in the game and some stain, have had some success, and are quality football players. Being able to talk to them and lean on them about where they go to do treatment and massages and all the questions that you typically ask, and obviously just studying how they study. I think that was the thing I appreciated most so far in my careers. I've been in 2 great places, Seattle with Bobby Wagner and Russ and KJ, and then coming down to Houston and be able to learn from JJ, and Whitney and the guys on the defense. So it's been awesome.
For sure. Yeah, that's awesome. So how is camp been going so far? I know meetings are online, and I'm pretty sure you guys are done this Thursday, I think I read. Yeah, so how's that going? You must just be itching to get back on the field, huh?
Oh man, I think this year this time has been great. Being able to take care of your body. I think guys really appreciate that. But a lot of guys are itching. I'm itching to get back out there with the guys and just be able to goof around, with the team, and have some fun. And really just trying to get this football thing rolling. This is the longest time any of us have really had off, per se, of us not really being in the facility. So, crazy time, man.
Crazy time.
But
yeah.
But we're finished. We're finishing up Thursday and proceed as normal, I guess.
Yeah, excited for it. So I guess with, like you said, it's crazy time with quarantine and everything going on. I guess is there one thing like other than football that's kind of been taking up a lot of your time that you do, like maybe pick up a new hobby or something?
Oh man, shoot, man. Me and my girlfriend, we've been building Legos, man, all over. I gotta show you some of these Legos.
Yeah. That's awesome, man.
How do I flip this around?
Oh shit. Well, that's not how you flip it around.
Hello.
Here we go. Yeah. Hey.
How do I flip? You know how to flip the camera around?
I don't know if you're able to on this.
Well,
I don't know if you want to just that works.
Yeah, man, we've been building the Stranger Things Lego set,
Oh shit, awesome, man.
I think one of these things have a light on somewhere. But that's pretty much what we've been doing. Legos, working out. That's pretty much been it, man. I don't really leave the house.
Yeah, for sure, man. I grew up on Legos, man. It's great to see them again. I always had so many. Always asking my parents about them for me, man. For sure. All right, next question. Where am I at? Okay. So another thing I'm really interested to ask is, back at college at Temple, you wore the prestigious single-digit jersey, specifically number 9. Can you talk to me about the honor that comes with that jersey?
Man, so not too many people know the history behind the single digits, but the single digits are the toughest players on Temple's team, 1 through 9, and is voted upon by the players, and it can be taken away by the players. The coaches have no influence or input. And the reason why we do it that way is because coaches come and go, but the culture that we have built at Temple, that stays the same, and it's been like that for the past 20 years, with the single digits. And it was a huge honor to be thought of that way, as like by your teammates, to be voted upon by your peers, and them to call you one of the toughest guys on the team, so it was just dope, man. It's awesome.
Yeah, for sure. Okay. Last one until we get into some other stuff. So since we're on the topic of college, talk to me about how motivating it can be to kind of be a later round pick. You're drafted in the 6th round. And people are sleeping on you, but once you got to the NFL, you showed your work ethic, you showed production on the field. So just kind of talk to me through the whole process of being kind of like an underdog.
Man, I think me coming from Temple and playing in that environment, I'm not sure if you've been to Philadelphia, man, but when you think of Philadelphia, you don't think of football. Partly because there's no grass in Philadelphia. It's all concrete. And we have AstroTurf, or we have turf as our practice field, so like just being in that environment, being in the middle of North Philadelphia, just like that just builds you different, man. You come out of Temple, dudes that come out of Temple are built different. That is for sure. That is for sure. And the proof is in our numbers in the NFL and the consistency of guys being on rosters every year, and signing new contracts, like that, like the just like that in itself, prepares you to think and act and work like a pro coming out of Temple, So me getting drafted late, I had no there was no thought in my mind that all I needed was an opportunity. Like I thought all I need was an opportunity, and I'll make whatever team like picks me up. And that was like my mindset, and I know that would have been guaranteed, regardless of wherever I went. So like just having that mindset coming out, like I just need this opportunity. So it was a once in a lifetime experience to hear my name called, on draft day, and I was just blessed and thankful that I got my name called.
Yeah, for sure.
At that point, if I wasn't going in the first round, I didn't really care where I was going. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So
that's fair. Yeah, for sure. Definitely landed in two good situations now. So that's great. Okay, so getting a bit away from football now, I think it's really important to address this because with everything going on in the world right now, the Black Lives Matter movement is properly at the forefront, and for those people who say stick to football, don't involve politics, whatever, it's not just politics at this point. We're talking about real human beings, and we're talking about like the future of humanity, right? So if you can't see that and aren't open to educating yourself about what's going on, then y'all can just stop listening to this, stop following me. This isn't going to be something that we just talk about for a couple of days and forget about. This has been going on for thousands of years, and it's unacceptable. So anyways, I'm a minority, but I can't speak to what it's like to be Black. I will never fully understand what Black people go through on a daily basis, but that doesn't mean that I can't do anything to help and support. So I just want to be able to give you a platform here and to talk about all these systemic issues that have been coming more and more revealed to the public. I don't know, whatever you want to talk about, life experiences, how it shaped who you are, really anything you feel comfortable talking about or want to educate people about.
Well, I would just say, the American experience is different for everybody. Perception is everything. My America is different than anyone else's America, than everyone else's America, And once you understand that and realize that, and you're okay, I'm an ally to the Black Lives Matter movement now. That's how you're thinking. What can I do to further my help? I think there's many lanes that need to be filled, and that doesn't mean you need to be protesting on the front lines. That doesn't mean like you have to be donating money if you have no money to donate. There doesn't mean you don't have to fill every lane, but collectively as a movement, we have to fill the lanes. So the best way to do that is to educate yourself, donate if you can donate, go protest if you can protest, if you have the ability to, support Black-owned businesses, share tons of information to social media, and have those difficult conversations with your friends and family, because ultimately that's where the change is going to occur. The government isn't going to hear one group of people, because the Black people have been marginalized and unheard for the past 400 years.
Yep.
You know what I mean? So we need as many allies as possible to make them hear us, because we want change, we need change and demand change, and no one's stopping until we get change. Like this isn't dying off, like you said. Like oftentimes, movements start and they die off once the media has changed their narrative, And I think that it's important for us to continue to do good works and to demand justice, and radical and instant change, to the criminal justice system because it's set up for failure. Set up for failure. It is. You know, it's there. Nothing good comes from the way things are set up now or how things operate now. And I think it's important for us to really reflect on what we want changed and how we want it changed, and coming up with as many possible ideas to accommodate everyone, because this change isn't just about the Black Lives Matter movement or Black people or African American people in America or the marginalized group in America. Yeah, that's a huge part of it, but this change will not only affect the marginalized groups but everyone, the majority as well. You know, so these changes are all good changes. So it baffles me how anyone can argue opposite. You know, and then I saw this meme earlier today, you know, that said it was like the fact that it took someone to draw a cartoon, you know, of a fire, 3 houses and 1 house on fire for you to understand that Black Lives Matter, you know, is absurd to me. If you can understand that with people, like, it's absurd to me, you know. So I think we're going in the right direction. I think that athletes and famous people, for too long, we have collectively have stayed in our bubble, you know, really only concerned about football or whatever entertainment, whatever you entertain, however you entertain people. That's really what your main focus was on. It was on your career. And I think it's important for us to use our platform, but just because I'm an NFL player doesn't mean that I'm not a Black man in America. It does not mean that I have not experienced racism myself, you know, as an NFL player. When people knowingly know who you are, you know, so I think it's very important for us to use our platform to have those difficult conversations for people in our communities, because we have the access to go talk to the mayors, the governors, and call city councilmen, and they'll answer us back, you know, and they'll jump at the opportunity to talk to us because we are these athletes, you know. I think it's important for us to use those platforms to hear what the public is saying and experiencing and what we have experienced, and take all those things into account to have these difficult conversations, to get the correct people in front of people in power to have these conversations, because that's what it's about, you know. Creating and cultivating change.
For sure. Yeah, I love what you said. Said it pretty perfectly. I guess, so you and some other Texans players, you went down to the protest. You went to, you guys were at George Floyd's funeral as well. I know. I don't know if you personally, but I know some of the players did. And so, like you said, like we can making statements on Twitter, retweeting stuff, like that's like part of it. But going out and doing actual actions, like walking the talk, that's going to be a big part of it as well. And so can you talk more about that, how that experience was for you guys? And was that kind of like a planned thing for the players? Or?
No, you know, it wasn't a planned thing. You know, I woke up that morning, I got a call from Trey the Truth, or Trey the Truth's manager, Mike Prince, actually gave me a phone call, and, you know, just seeing what I was doing later that day, you know, and he said there's a George Floyd protest going on, and I asked him, like, however I can help, you know, I'll be there, just to be there. You know, I was there to support George Floyd and his family, and to support the community. And Deshaun was there, and PK and some other guys showed up as the day went on, you know. But I think it was a tremendous experience, you know, to be a part of something like that. It was such a peaceful day, you know. It was just it was beautiful, you know. Obviously the circumstances of us all being there, you know, weren't as nice, you know, but, you know, being able to console with the family and talk to them and pray with them, you know, and just to send my love, you know, to the community, to make sure that was felt, you know, that the Texans are behind you. You know, we're part of this city, and will do anything for the community, because Houston is probably one of the most diverse places I've ever lived. And I'm from Houston originally. I lived in Colorado, I lived in Seattle, and I lived in Philadelphia. But Houston's is different, man. It's a melting pot of people. And it was amazing just to see the community, from all walks of life, all different colors were out there, to come together, for one cause. And I think that was magical. I thought that was dope. So.
For sure. Yeah. The protests have been amazing to seeing them all throughout America, all the different cities that's happening. I'm from Canada, and so they're not happening as much here, but I'm trying to do my part, and hopefully this is going to help as well. I know it's kind of like the mentality of like, I don't know. When I was growing up, I was thinking like, oh, what's like the point of me voting? If I don't vote, like I'm just like one person. Like it's
right.
Whatever. It's not a big deal. And it's kind of the same thing like this. Like if you're not making, if I like, oh, I'm just one person, like I can't actually inspire change. But if that's how everyone in the world is thinking, then of course nothing's gonna happen. So every single person has to have the same mindset of, hey, I have a voice, I have a platform, no matter how big, no matter if you're a professional athlete or if you're just some nobody, you know what I mean? You have a voice and you can inspire change. So I love that. And I love your point about the Texans being behind Houston and behind this movement. And so that kind of goes into my next point of Bill O'Brien. He's been one of the most vocal coaches on this matter. And I was really happy and proud to see him make his statement, because as a white head coach in the NFL, he's part of the demographic that needs to understand the issue and help spark change. He's at the forefront of this with the position he has. He has a lot of power and influence. And so I was just proud to see that he used it in the right way. So as a player, when you see your head coach speak out in the way that he did, how does that impact you?
I think it's important. It's important to all of us, to see that someone who doesn't look like us, he empathizes with us. He understands that through his course of work, he's come in contact with many men, many men of color. So he has a certain kind of appreciation. Even though he may not fully understand to the full extent of what a black man may go through or a person of color may go through on a day-to-day, it was nice to hear that he took the time, before coming out to make a statement, to do his own research, about the inequalities and the social issues going on, that have been going on, so I thought that was cool to see. Really appreciated it.
Yeah, for sure. I think, like you said, even though he's not of you guys' demographic, he's been around so many people. So he's probably heard so many stories. And the thing that stood out to me the most is like, he's talking about, this is why Kenny Stills knees. This is why Michael Thomas does as well. So his ability to, I guess, connect the players and understand what they're going through and try and speak on that. I think that's huge. So it's great to see from the organization for sure. So that about does it for the questions. We can get into film now. Cool with that. All right, I'm gonna share my screen here. Okay, you can see my screen?
Mm-hmm.
Perfect. Okay, cool. So yeah, I just want to kind of go through some of your best plays, your sacks, and have you break them down for me. This one had to be one of the best feelings in the world right here. The sack against the Bills.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, so just coming open on the stunt here. Do you want to talk me through it? What's going through your mind?
Man, so anytime I'm playing inside, I'm really thinking to myself, how can I create space? Being an edge rusher, you're used to having space. So rushing in tight quarters may not be you may not be as active or as disruptive as you'd like to be, because things happen a lot faster on the inside. Instead of 3 steps, it's 2 steps. Instead of 4 steps, it's 1 step. Like different things happen at different paces. So I told Witt, thinking he was gonna get chipped right there by the back. I figured we try to game it up, try to get him free, and I end up coming free, being the pick guy. So. Yeah.
That's how it went down. So was that a call you made at the line of scrimmage, or was that part of the play?
No, man, we'll call our games at the line of scrimmage sometimes, or they may tag it on the call. But this particular one, we called on the line of scrimmage.
Damn. Okay, that's kind of great to, as a player, to be able to have the freedom like that. I mean, I guess you hear of like more people know of like quarterbacks, they'll make a call at the line of scrimmage or whatever. But I feel like it's not as common for a defensive lineman to be able to.
Oh man, I would say we're talking just as much, man, as an offensive quarterback, man.
Yeah.
Like it may not happen as loud, you know. We try to keep things our code words and things like that secretive,
right?
You know, so they don't pick up on certain letters or sayings that we may say. So oftentimes we may use hand signals or we may use verbiage. Just depends on who's in the game and who you're talking to. Because some guys like hand signs, some guys like words. So
right, that makes sense. Yeah. I guess talk me through like the emotion of the sack. I mean, it was such a meaningful, impactful sack. End of the game, the situation. I believe it was 4th down in the playoff game. This is your first ever playoff game, right?
Nah, I played one wild card against Dallas my rookie year, and we lost against Dallas.
Damn. But yeah, was it just like really, like, I don't know, do you get caught up in like the emotions a lot? Like this must have been just a crazy moment for you. I don't know.
Man, this was for me, this was a super dope moment. Just because this is like the loudest I've ever heard, you know, NRG, you know, right. Since I'd been there, you know, that was the loudest I'd heard the place, you know, and it was dope, you know, it was a big game, it was a big moment, you know, it was awesome.
For sure. Okay, let's get to your next one. This is kind of like your go-to move here against the Broncos, like your chop, dip, and rip. It's really nasty, and with your speed on the edge, it's so dangerous, man. Want to talk me through this one?
Yeah, man. So we call that a cross chop or chop swing. Right. So essentially just chopping his outside arm with my inside arm, turning my shoulders to reduce the blocking surface. Mm-hmm. And as I step through, I either change levels by dropping the inside shoulder, or I rip and try to lift his arm, clearing my body underneath his arm. Oftentimes, you know, you can win just on a straight chop. But you know, this is a great move. You know, it's my, essentially I call it a speed check. You know, I try to get off as fast as I can and see how fast he can kick. If he's there, then I'll throw the move. If he's not there, then it's a sack. You know, that's try not to deviate off my path as much as possible. Straight lines, try to keep the angles right.
Right.
That's essentially my game, man. Try to run as fast as I can to see if he can kick. And then once I get him afraid of my speed, and that's when I start throwing the change-ups.
For sure, yeah, man. Your speed, it's another level. Like your athletic gifts, that's what honestly makes me fall in love with your game, because you can't teach that type of athleticism. And so your potential is just sky high with it. And like you said, just being able to read what the offensive lineman is doing, if they can keep up or not, and that kind of dictates your next move. I guess that kind of goes into my question, like how much of pass rushing is planned and how much of it is kind of reactionary? So like, are you going to that line, like, you know, like, okay, I'm gonna hit him with move A, and then if that's blocked up or if he covers that well, then move B? Or is it kind of just everything's in the moment and you're reacting to if he gets kicked up on you?
I would say for me, you know, me coming into the league out of college, I was a good pass rusher in college, you know, but I wasn't as good as I could have been in college because I was so busy trying to or not really perfecting all these moves I would throw off of reaction, or like, okay, I'd look at this guy's film and see, okay, I could probably throw this on this guy, you know, and I'll go into the game throwing.
I think you're covering your mic. Sorry.
Oh, my fault.
All good.
No, I would I would go into games, you know, thinking of all these pass rush moves I practiced during the week, you know, not honing down on one or two of them in an encounter. So when I got to Seattle, that was like a big emphasis, you know, when I first got there, you know, come up, have a rush plan, you know, what is my rush plan? And my go-to rush is the cross chop, you know. Yep. You can do a lot of things off because if I miss with the chop, I can still like bend and duck under the hands. I think I did that in the Colts game. Yeah, the Colts game.
This one right here.
I missed his hands and I just ducked it.
And then you just rip. Boom.
Like that's literally that's speed check. Like if he's there, he's there. If he's not there, I'm gone. that's how I think about it. And that's my rush. And then I throw a counter off of it. I may throw a changeup in there. I have 3 rushes. I do it I'm not sure if you ever seen Von Miller's like Ghost, like where he like ghosts someone. Like he throws it.
I forget it now.
Like it's like the fake long arm, and he like ducks underneath the offensive lineman's arm.
Oh damn!
So I got a chance to work with Von at his pass rush summit. I stole that one from him this past year. And then the cross chop, and then the spin. Like I try to counter and things like that. But yeah, man, I don't like now. Like what I've realized is that if you go back and watch some of the greatest pass rushers, the Kevin Greenies or the Michael Strahans or even Von, like they use this or Khalil Mack, like they use the same move, the same 2-3 moves over and over again. Like that's why they're good, because they have perfected them. They have their counters. Obviously they can do some freaky stuff as well, but they stick to what they know.
Yeah, like you said perfectly. Like they master those couple moves. Instead of being okay at like 10 moves, there's a master like 3 or 4, right? And,
right. Or even AD. Like AD and Yannick probably have like two of the nastiest cross chops I've seen.
Oh, Yannick's so nasty.
You know what I mean? Like, like two, like they're just fluid, but like that's their move. Like they perfected it. They don't throw nothing else. You know what I mean?
For sure.
That's what I was trying to get in the mindset of last year. It's like I don't need all these moves. Like we worked on this, so I know the angles I need, and I know what I need to be successful. So there's no deviating off of that.
Yeah, and people say like, oh, he's a one-trick pony or whatever. Like not for you in particular, but if they see people who are just like have that speed rush or just have one move, they'll be like, oh, he's a one-trick pony. But if it works and if you know that you have counters off of it, then
exactly.
Then who cares?
Right.
If it ain't broke, don't fix it. Like
exactly. If it's not broke, don't fix it.
Exactly. So I guess we already kind of talked about this one. It's like, yeah, even if you miss the chop, like you have your counter if that doesn't work. And what I love about your game is your bend. Like it's freakish bend right here. People to dip your shoulder right here and then get level with the quarterback. He tries to step up, but you're just too quick for him, man. And those athletic gifts, like you're gonna be ridiculous. Like it's crazy.
I appreciate that, man.
For sure. Okay, so this one, I'm pretty sure you just run straight by him, like speed check, like you said. He can't keep up with you. Marcus can, like you ate him up all day long. Like his feet aren't quick enough to keep up with you for sure.
This was in the 4th quarter too, man. So at this point in the game, man, everybody's tired if you got to deal with me.
Yeah,
I don't like. That's one thing in my game, man. I don't stop.
For sure. Yeah, your motor it's something else.
If I'm on the field, it's 100 miles an hour, man. You can get pulled out. There's other guys on the roster for that. You know what I mean?
Yeah, and I mean, coaches have got to love that. They got to love the effort and the energy that you play with for sure. All right. I guess we'll look at this one too. 2 sacks in the Pats game. This one was really nice. Walking through this one.
So this is actually my changeup right here.
Yep.
So I throw a stab. I stab his chest with my hand, to get him to stop his feet, because he had a good get off right there where he's right on top of me. So I knew right then I had to throw the changeup. Like I had to stab him. So I used my inside hand to stab, and it's a stab club. So I clubbed his inside or his outside arm with my outside arm, and that's the changeup. This is something I need to work on a little bit. Is staying a little bit tighter to the offensive lineman, so I'm not floating over the top.
Yep.
Because I beat him cleanly. But I was too wide at the end of my move, which made me have to take an extra step at the top of the rush, which gave Tom the ability to step up.
Mm-hmm.
So I think that's not the tackle recovered. The tackle recovered a little bit, but
yeah, he was able to kind of push you out of it and widen that angle, like you said. But I think your ability to flip your hips to the quarterback and bend, like it's pretty special. So, like you said, just keeping that window when you're right, like here, basically, just keeping that tighter, like you said, yeah, and that's gonna be like a great tackle. I mean, you still, and then you show off the motor here, like you don't give up at this point. Like at this point, you're past the play, but you never give up, and you're still gonna fight back into it. So that's awesome, for sure. Okay, since you brought it up, I'm gonna find one of your clips for the spin move. Give me 1 second. Sorry.
Off the top of my head, spin moves would be. Oh, I don't think I threw any this year, man. To be honest with you,
I got some clips of yours. Let me pull them up. Where you at? Go. All right. Inside spin. Oh, I think this one was against Quentin Nelson, if I remember. Let's see. Yeah, this one you're just on the inside. You had other ones. This one, boom, get off me. It's just so quick. Like your ability to change direction like that, like that's crazy. For sure. Let's look at one on the outside. Maybe it's not Saints. I think you had one against the Pats actually. The spin. Could have been tighter. Oh, actually, you know what I want to watch? This one. This move is my favorite move from yours. It's just stringing a lot of moves together. Let's look at it here. Inside out, chop, spin. I think the spin, it wasn't. I think you lost your footing on this one, but let's see on the left here. Yeah, so you start off the rush, and then you fake inside, boom, go outside. You try and get that chop in right there.
Mm-hmm.
It's missed time, but that's fine. And then you still add another move here and spin backwards, and you just barely lose your footing. But that's a crazy move to string in all those together. I love that one.
Yeah, so I was afraid I was gonna get. This is another my fourth changeup. So I guess I have 4 rushes.
Yep.
So so I was essentially I knew I was gonna spin. I knew I was gonna spin in my head, and I knew I had because I had a level rush. Like you can see we have a pressure. We have some movement going on with the inside guys. So I'm a contain element. But once I got to the level, I'm thinking to myself, okay, I can spin back now. So my changeup was the hezzy inside to back outside to get that back, not to chip me.
True. Yeah.
And once I got to the top, like he's not really a puncher, you know. This tackle right here, he's not really a puncher. He's an older dude, so KG vet move is to really catch him because he knows I wasn't gonna long arm him. I know I wasn't gonna long arm him. So like he's not gonna really try to punch my lights out, you know. So he kind of shielded me, and I slipped on my spin right there, but
yeah,
that was my thought process.
Yeah, that's awesome, man, for sure. 4th changeup, Jesus, that's crazy. All right, that'll really do it for me. I don't want to keep you for too long.
Yeah, man, no worries.
You coming out, man. Great talking to you.
Hey, man, Texans thoughts. Some real ones, man.
Hey,
me and my girlfriend talk about you all the time, man.
No, you don't.
Yeah, bro. I'm being dead serious, bro.
What?
Dead serious, man. So yeah, man. I appreciate you, man. Your support, bro, and thank you for everything you're doing, bro.
Gotta say, I'm probably your number 1 fan. I mean,
without a doubt.
I really believe in your game, man. That's crazy. I had no idea that. Like, I mean, like when you followed me, I was like, oh damn, that's like one of the best days of my life, you know?
Yeah, man. Like I think like my girlfriend, she was telling me like she saw like someone retweeted like your account and saw like my pictures of profile, and she was like, wait, who are these guys? Or like, she was like, who? She thought it was like multiple people on the account. And I was like, I don't know, man, but we're gonna follow them because they're putting out some good information.
Hey, yeah, putting out the truth about you, man.
Appreciate it, man.
Man, I'm really rooting for you, man. Hoping you get a bigger opportunity next year. I really think you should be starting, to be honest. And if you get even more snaps, you're just gonna ball out. I mean, like we've seen what you can do in limited snaps, so I'm a big believer in you for sure.
Thank you, bro. Appreciate that, man.
All right, thanks for taking time on your day, man. Great talking to you. Have a good one,
bro.
Stay safe, bro.
Take it easy. Be safe out there.
For sure. Woo!